Right? This is not a ride-sharing video. Once again, this is not a ride-sharing video. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Two new candidates have entered the race. We're talking about the one and only Vice President Mike Pence and former New Jersey Senator Christie. Both of these gentlemen, by this time next week, by next Thursday, both Christie and Mike Pence will be candidates for the 2024 election. So we're going to ask the obvious question, does it make a difference with President Trump being so far out in front? And if not, then why the hell would Pence and Christie get in the race? Now, we know Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Sununu, a few others are in the race. Larry Elder, which most Americans do not even know who the hell that is, talking about the conservative talk show host out of California. But regardless of the fact, does Pence and wow, somebody said, you threw me off with that, Crystal. Thank you. And yeah, you really threw me off with that. I appreciate that. But does Christie and Mike Pence enter in the race, does it make a damn bit of difference? And we're going to ask one clear-cut question. Are there going to be any vendettas? President Trump made a hell of a lot of enemies amongst his own party. We get the issue with the liberals. You're supposed to not like the liberals. That's kind of how politics works. But we're talking Republican on Republican fire. Now, is it possible, because Mike Pence has already stated that President Trump put his life in danger on January 6th, is it possible that the only reason Mike Pence is in the race because he has some sort of vendetta? Because let's make no mistake about it, Trump treated Pence like shit after the 2020 election. Certainly once he did not halt the inauguration, halt President Biden from becoming president, Trump treated Pence like shit. So is it possible that Mike Pence's primary goal is not necessarily to win the election, but rather to be a spoiler for President Trump? And then we're going to also ask the same question in regards to Christie. Now, Trump has had words with Christie as well, nowhere near to the degree in which he's had them with Mike Pence. But Trump has treated a lot of people in his own party pretty harshly, and I would probably suggest none worse than Mike Pence. So what are the chances that both Christie and Mike Pence are running, not necessarily because they believe they have a genuine chance of winning, but to prevent Trump from becoming president again? And I do believe Christie has openly stated, because he's been a contributor on ABC This Week with George Stephanopoulos. So I watch him often on Sunday mornings debating it out with the other folks at the round table. He's made it clear Trump cannot win in 2024. And he's also laid out what he believes is the blueprint on how to beat Trump, which somewhat involves going hand-to-hand combat with him. In other words, when he insults, punch back. A lot of folks in the comments, what do you think? You think Christie? Now, we know his weight and things like that are going to become a concern if it goes down to personal attacks. And anybody who becomes a competitor to President Trump is going to be hit with personal attacks. Trump has already created a nickname for Christie. Sloppy Christie. So he's already in that forum. But will Christie punch back? That's what we're going to be talking about. So looking in the comments, by the way, the program is and always will remain MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome as well, but MAGA are my preferred guests. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. Miss B, thank you. Appreciate that. We don't censor or block anyone for their comments on the page. And if you don't agree with the host, nobody gives a damn. It's all about free speech, First Amendment rights. So looking in the comments, Shaquille Oatmeal. I love it. Okay. All right. I can tolerate that. Thomas B. Griffin. I don't get it. It's not punching. It's doing what I do because I'm not very smart. So you're suggesting that when President Trump, or even let's say Christie, start launching personal attacks, it's not necessarily punching, but is doing it out of a lack of intelligence. Let me know if I'm getting that right. We'll keep it moving and go straight to the box. Appreciate you folks. Tap the screen. Get your boy up to 8,000 likes, 600 plus of you in here. You could be anywhere you want to be on this app. Always a pleasure having you here. Tanya, I think that says, let's make it, oh, wait a minute. Better yet, in our channel. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Mike Pence, Christie in the race. Do you think it makes a damn bit of a difference?
No, I don't. And I think what a lot of people are, the two main focuses of the watchdogs, or whatever you want to call them, is DeSantis.
Okay, my caller went. You went on mute. Are you there? You said the two main focuses are what? Okay, my caller went. You went on mute. Are you there? You said the two main focuses are what? Okay, my caller went. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what you did there, NR. I don't know if you had a phone call or if you put Bluetooth in or whatever, but your connection got really bad and you had a hell of a lot of echo. So something you made a change there. Looking in the comments, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, says Bama G. Let me just, in regards to President Biden going on the Breakfast Club and making that statement, which he was held accountable for, and also apologized profusely for. It was certainly a racially suspect comment. Most African Americans did not favor the comment. However, I will point out, whether you agree or whether you accept the apology or not, President Biden apologized for that comment profusely. And I'll tell you this, because a lot of folks will ask, well, why the hell do African Americans keep calling Trump racist, but they ignore shit like that coming from Biden? My answer is simple. An apology, whether authentic or not, will beat fuck your feelings 100% of the time. Even if the guy who's apologizing has people that don't even believe it's authentic, the fact that he's apologizing for stuff and the other guy is saying, fuck your feelings, I didn't do anything wrong, the apology is going to win out. The apology is going to win out. And there's things that Trump has done, and when called to task on it, for the most part, there was nothing, no type of closure with it at all. So that's where I believe, for folks who wonder, why are you ignoring Biden but holding Trump accountable? And it's because Biden has been willing to step forward and say, yeah, what I said was some bullshit. I'm sorry for it. Like I said, you may not believe the apology is authentic, but he did acknowledge it. The Trump side is saying, fuck your feelings. Looking in the comments. And someone said, he apologized, laughed my head up, so now I can be racist and then just apologize profusely. Well, you would sound like a red-blooded American if you did that. If you said, so now I can be racist and just apologize profusely, what about that does not sound like the way America was founded? Isn't that exactly what has been done? So, yeah, you can be racist and apologize profusely. And yours truly, I would simply refer to that as the American way. That's kind of what has happened throughout history. Biden has claimed to be great friends with racists. Okay, fair enough. If it's not racist if you stop the racist behavior. That certainly makes sense. Do you have an opinion on Marianne Williamson? I actually think that her policies, being a liberal, I'll go back to the box, tap the screen, get your boy up to 15,000 likes. As always, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their commentary. Program is MAGA friendly, always will remain MAGA friendly for the entire program, but liberals are welcome as well. Marianne Williamson. I don't believe she has much of a chance on the liberal side for a couple of reasons. First of all, name recognition is huge. And not a lot of liberals even know who she is. So that's going to be probably the biggest issue. I would suggest that also she is further to the left of Joe Biden. So even if she found herself propelled to the Democratic ticket, she has no chance. I mean, because she does believe in universal health care, tuition assistance, and more of the Bernie Sanders type policies. But she doesn't have the platform of Bernie Sanders. So I just don't see any chance with Marianne Williamson. I would also say she ran before, I think in 2020 or 2016, She hasn't gained any name recognition since then, and that's bad. You could have been a CNN contributor and been more out there. She's been contributors on some news programs, but she hasn't gained any name recognition, so that's bad. So I don't see Marianne Williamson doing very well at all. In the Kennedy guy, even worse. Democrats are the true racists and white saviors. I'm just going to say, let's say I got to go back to the box. I want to make sure I get to you folks. I always try to answer your questions, but want to say in regards to Democrats being the true racists and being white saviors, as you put it, let's say that's true. Let's say that's 100% true. It would be like telling you that 2023 is now the era of the Jetsons and cars can indeed fly. And then you go navigating around America and you say, well, if you're saying cars can fly, why don't I see any of them in the air? The point I'm making is, if Democrats are the true racists and white saviors, it becomes a case of don't believe your lying eyes. Have you been to a Democratic gathering as opposed to a Republican gathering? Remember, Democrats are the true racists and the party of white saviors, as you state. But when you go to a Democratic gathering, they got LGBT folks all over the damn place, Muslims with turbans on, black people in prominent positions of power. This is flying cars in 2023. Even if what you're saying is true, people can see, and it makes no sense. When you go to a Democratic gathering, the speakers are black. A lot of the candidates, a lot of the administration is black. You're telling me this is the racist party? And then when you go over to the Republican side, all of a sudden, much of the diversity disappears. Folks are in the crowd with Confederate flags, and they think Black Lives Matter is a terrorist outfit. And then you go, well, this is the party that loves black people. You take that with your own eyes, and you let me know what you think. I'm just simply saying, even if what you're saying is true, that Democrats are the party of racism and white savior, and Republicans love blacks and things like that, the optics of what you see at a Republican gathering versus a Democratic gathering does not match that. It just does not match it. Looking in the comments, a Confederate flag does not make somebody racist. No, it does not. I suppose a swastika doesn't make somebody a Nazi either. But understand that you don't see that at Democratic gatherings. Regardless of how you think of the Confederate flag, we know what African Americans think of it. African Americans may be wrong in the way they view Confederate flags. We can debate that. But we know what the typical African American thinks of the Confederate flag. When you go to Democratic gatherings, that's not there. You don't see people waving around Confederate flags. When you go to Republican gatherings, you do see this stuff. And this is the party that loves black people. So you got black Republicans in line, standing right next to guys waving the Confederate flag, and they're both thinking that the candidate represents their issues. Like I said, it's a matter of optics. Let me go back to the box, though. Appreciate you folks holding on. Jeep Jump. Good afternoon. Welcome to the pro. Yeah, I can hear it loud and clear. Mike Pence, Christie in the race. Does it make a difference?
Okay, the January 6 events and Mike Pence's reaction is definitely going to play into the voters looking at him running from the Capitol. If he is the party leader of conservatives, why did he make haste to leave the Capitol as quickly as possible under guard? He should have had nothing to fear.
Well, the problem is this. If you are a politician and you have Secret Service protection, you generally trust what they say. So if they come and grab you and say, sir, there's a danger, we need to get you out of here, what are you going to say? No? They're the ones that's doing surveillance of the area. If their intel tells them your life is in danger, what are you going to say? Hell no, I'm staying right here?
As a vice president, he has that power and responsibility to do that as well. To assess the threat assessment from his security team saying, well, you're not in direct danger right here, but there is a potential. And that's the point where he says, okay, well, I need to stand my ground here. If it gets to a next level, then definitely we will remove ourselves and go to a safer location. But right now, what am I? Am I in a direct threat situation, or do I need to stand where I'm at and try and help control the situation? So that's
Well,
definitely going to reflect on him.
yeah, but when you look at the video, and I've seen video of police letting people in, I've seen video of people breaking windows and getting in. But fact is, the building that you're in, sir, the upper portion of this building is being overrun, and we're taking you out of the basement to get you out of here. You're going to turn around and look at that building and say, I think I'm safe, I'm fine?
I can honestly say I'm not sure. I wasn't there, so I can't tell. I can only base my viewpoints off of what video or evidence I've seen. I haven't had full access like Tucker Carlson and the other guys that have been given full access to everything. So I can't honestly tell you yes or no one way or the other because I wasn't there.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I will tell you this because neither you nor I was there. That is true. But you know who was there? The Secret Service. They did have access. And based on their opinion, his life was in danger.
Well, they also had access to the National Guard before the situation even got to that point of them entering the Capitol building. The Capitol Police are supposed to have control of that building. And obviously, if it was entered, then they did not have control. So, yeah, I can understand the threat assessment to the Secret Service going, well, the Capitol Police can't do their job. We need to get this valuable asset, the vice president, out of the situation, out of the building. So I fully understand that. But if it's a party of conservatives, there's a view of, well, he ran from his own party.
Well,
Was he
it's not
actually in
like
a
his
threat?
own. Well, you're not just running from your own party. Members of your party are talking about taking your life. So at that point, they don't like you. I mean, what are you going to do? Hang out in the crowd and take pictures by the gallows? Take selfies with the gallows?
There's a
Just
gray
come about
area
killing the man.
of what support there is and not. So yeah, it's a mix. It's both. Yeah, there's a threat assessment and stuff like that. But that aside, with Christie on the other side of it, stepping into the race, I don't have any confidence that he's not bought and paid for already.
By who?
Wealthy benefactors and donors to his campaign finances.
Well, wouldn't that apply to all politicians, though? They're all bought and
Yes.
paid for to some degree based on that comment.
Well, yes and no. There's an extent that he is bought and paid for and stuff like that. So, we'll have to see. I have to do some more research into it now that he's been announced as a candidate. I have to look into see what is he running on to begin with. Has his principles changed since when he was governor?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If he says the right things, you would be willing to entertain voting for Chris Christie?
Very possibly. It depends. I have to look into him. I've mentioned it before where I'm not looking at the candidate themselves as an individual. I'm looking at the administration and what they bring to the table as a whole, not just a candidate or a single person. Because one person can make or change, but the administration is what's going to put things into play.
Well, I will say this for Chris Christie. He was a Republican governor in a predominantly liberal state. That takes a hell of a lot of ability to unify. I mean, because he's not exactly the former governor of Alabama. He was a governor of New Jersey. That's not easy to accomplish, to become a Republican governor in an area like that. So at least from a standpoint of unity, he probably would beat most of those other candidates running from the Republican ticket.
Well, you have to look at New Jersey and the East Coast separately from the rest of the continental U.S.
True.
The Midwest is going to have a completely different perspective on things than an urban industrial type area of the East Coast, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York area, and the mindset of Northeastern compared to the Midwest or even the West Coast.
Yeah, I agree with that. Every state, every region of this country has a different level of opinions and things like that. I don't disagree with that, but I'm just simply saying he has shown that he can bring the parties together. I mean, you see, Biden's having a hell of a lot of difficulty uniting the nation, and I don't think Trump ever had that as a goal. So I'm interested, like you. I want to hear what he has to say because even though I lean left, I'm a fan of Christie. I've been following him ever
He's
since
shown a lot more moderation in his perspective, which was his ability to unite. So given that perspective, he's able to draw in a lot more left or moderates into the fold of his party or his viewpoints. I think the Republican Party is definitely a hard-charging runner for this upcoming election, with the Democrats saying, "Oh well, we're not going to hold any debates. We have our candidate, and that's what we're going to do." And they haven't really stepped up to say we need to show some diversity and show people choice, rather than say this is what we're going with. And
Well,
this is what you need to vote
you
for.
do realize that Trump has stated that he may not debate as well. He made it clear you're 40 points ahead of these people. Why do you even want it? Why do you even need to debate him? So a lot of folks are holding Biden accountable for suggesting that he
He'll do
might
it.
not debate. Maybe he will, but that's not what he's saying. He is saying that he don't need to debate these people.
Well, yeah, but all you have to do is poke Trump and say chicken, and he'll step right up and go, "Oh, don't call me a chicken. I'm not a chicken. You know what? We're going to talk about it." Yeah, but that's Trump's
But you
character,
make
and we
it
all know
sound.
that.
But think about what you're saying. I got to move it on, but I'll give you the last word. Think about what you're saying. You're saying even if the man does not want to debate, all you do is have to call him chicken, and you can get him into the debate by way of his ego. Are you suggesting that we are potentially looking to elect a president that cannot control his own ego?
Oh no, he can control it. It's just a matter of getting into the conversation so that he has say. It's at the
Oh,
point. It's at that point, once he has his say and can voice his feelings, that's when a person needs to worry or not worry based on what he's going to say.
fair enough. Well, hopefully you are correct, because I would love to see a Chris Christie President Trump debate. I'm dying to see that. That's pay-per-view.
Christie's a businessman just like Trump, so I would encourage that. That would be fun to watch. So
I could not agree more. Jeep, always a pleasure. Come on back
I
anytime.
appreciate it, brother. Have a good one. Take care.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, go back to the box, looking in the comments. He's saying I support a traitorous egomaniac. Yikes! That's a mouthful. Someone asked earlier, I wanted to respond, but we obviously were involved in the conversation. Asked, how did Trump unite the nation? If my oration led you to believe that's what I was saying, that's not true. I stated that Biden is having a hell of a time uniting the country because that was his campaign promise, just to restore the soul of the country. I don't believe he has succeeded at that. And when it comes to Trump, I stated uniting America was never Trump's goal. As I believe it was General Miley stated that Trump was deliberately trying to divide everybody. And I do believe Trump's purpose was whatever Trump was focusing on, whether it's the economy, projection of strength worldwide, fuel independence, whatever it was, his goal was to do what he thought was best for America and be damned with how the citizens felt about it. That could be a good thing, depending on where you are on the political spectrum. But I don't think Trump ever had a concern over, as Bill Clinton would say, I feel your pain. I don't care if you're in pain. If I think what I'm doing is best and you're in pain, be damned. I'm going to perform this procedure on you without anesthesia if it'll save your life. That's how I believe Trump viewed it. So, no, I don't think Trump united America. And I don't believe if he was reelected, he would do it either. I don't think he's even trying to do it. Looking in the comments, people just like Trump because he's got a big mouth. Yeah, they're pretty honest about that. He shoots from the hip. He talks like a typical New Yorker. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. We're going to go back to the box before we do. He eliminated 16 paid pros to face Hillary, then beat her. 16 paid pros. I'm assuming you're talking about the 16 candidates that Trump was running against in 2016. He beat all of them, then he beat Hillary Clinton as well. In regards to them being paid, here's the problem with that. Trump ran against those 16 folks, Rick Perry, and I believe the guy out of Kentucky, Ron Paul, not Ron Paul, but his son. Those folks are in the 16. The problem is, if you're going to say those 16 were paid pros, Trump put some of those paid pros on his administration. So before you want to condemn the folks that he beat, understand that once he won, he brought some of those folks into the White House, like Rick Perry, for instance. So just understand, he promised to surround himself with the best and brightest, not paid pros. Going back to the box, tap the screen, get your boy up to 25,000. There's 800 plus of you in here. It's always an honor because you could be anywhere you want to be on this app. Always glad to have you here. The program is and forever will remain MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome as well. We don't block or ban anyone. Looking in the box, Jared since 1987. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. If the app lets you in, who would you like to see in the White House? I need to see the debates. Even though I lean left, I make no qualms about it. I'm not super duper happy with Biden, but then again, a lot of liberals are not either. I'm not opposed to other liberals running. I'm not a fan of Marianne Williamson, and I certainly don't like the Kennedy guy at all. I actually think Chris Christie is a good dude. I need to tell you what he got to say, though, because I believe there are three entities. I'm going to have to move it on because this last caller doesn't seem to be coming through, but I believe there are three entities running in this race. You have Democrats, which is Joe Biden, Marianne Williamson, and whoever the hell this Kennedy guy is, which is barely qualifying as a Democrat. Then you have the Republicans, Mike Pence, Chris Christie now, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Sununu, Larry Elder. And last but not least, you have MAGA. Those are the three parties running in this race. Now, obviously, MAGA and the Republicans are running under the same ticket in 2024, very similar to how Bernie Sanders and the Democrats were running under the same ticket back in 2016. But Bernie Sanders is not a Democrat. Trump is not a Republican. That's why they both keep having so much problems out of the establishment. It's because you're not one of us. You're using our party to get access to our coffers. But you are not one of us. You don't represent our true values. And just like with Bernie Sanders, you are also hurting our party to some degree because you're trying to change it to some other shit. So when you hear Trump and MAGA suggest that all of these typical traditional conservatives are rhinos, that's wrong. In reality, Trump is the rhino. Trump is the Republican in name only. He's not a Republican. He's running as one because he needs access to the money. But who would I like to see in the White House? Like I said, I want to see somebody moderate, and I do believe that we have a need to unify this country. If Chris Christie says the right shit, I'm really looking forward to hearing you guys speak. I'm just going to put it that way. All right, let me go back to the box. And when I say unify, I mean get away from the far left and far right shit. Let's keep it going, though. We'll go back to my boy Snugs.
Hello.
Always good to hear you. By the way, folks, if you enjoy civilized dialogue, both sides of the aisle, no fear of being blocked, banned, or censored, follow the program. Helps out the algorithm.
Absolutely.
Snugs.
Hello. Can I have my hat back? You borrowed my hat too long. Can I get my hat back?
I got three more on order. So, Chris Christie,
Right.
Mike Pence, does it make a difference?
You know, it's going to be Donald Trump, period. All right? I mean, come on. Wake up, everybody. Donald Trump is the guy. He's very innocent. He lost a lawsuit so far, and he's been innocent so far. You guys know that. You guys, let's move forward.
Do you feel confident that President Trump is going to survive all of the legal challenges he's facing?
Absolutely, 100% he's going to be right there, and he's definitely going to go forward. Yeah, I'm focusing on the on this election ahead. It's definitely going to be Donald Trump. People are not going to vote for Biden. Even Democrats, they're going to question their pocketbooks, and they're going to say, hey, listen, yeah, we need this. We need a better economy, and we need the border wall.
What if by
Absolutely.
some strange coincidence, the economy recovers substantially between now and 2024. What else can Trump run on and say that he did?
It's a little too late for that, don't you think? It's almost a
No,
year. I mean,
no,
it's a little too
no, it is
late.
not.
People do things.
Let's go with that. Let's go with it being too late. But for shits and giggles, let's say it did happen. What else could Trump run on other than the economy?
Well, really, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, if they want to do a rush job toward the end here, they know they weren't doing anything in the beginning. All right, we're talking about a debt ceiling on $31 trillion debt on all presidents and all Congress. First off, we need a Congress that can work together, period. All right, that could work with Donald Trump so that we can get things going. But when Donald Trump was in office, we had a great economy. We had great heating bills. We had great everything across the board. We had 2 years of COVID. We never saw a $1,200 check come to us from the Biden administration. We did through Trump. So he helped us. He really helped us with the economy when he was here.
Let me ask you this. Do you buy into the notion that they never gave Trump a chance from day one and they started attacking him immediately?
Absolutely.
The reason I'm asking it, because you mentioned Trump needs a Congress that can work with him. When he became president, he had control of both the Senate and Congress. And they didn't work with him because he couldn't repeal and replace Obamacare and things like that. So the question I'm asking is, Trump is one of the only candidates that, other than Biden, that has already been commander in chief and demonstrated that even if he has control of both the Senate and Congress, they may not even work with him. How do you see him getting reelected and that not happening again?
Well, Trump did get rid of the part of the Obamacare plan was if that you would have a penalty for not having health insurance.
He didn't promise parts.
No, I had the penalty for not having health insurance, and when he got rid of that, I didn't have to pay that penalty anymore, and it was $600 a month. Oh yeah, it was, Mr. Handsome. Yes, it was.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh,
what I'm saying is you didn't promise to give me new tires or a clean engine. You promised me a whole damn car. He said he was going to repeal and replace Obamacare, and you're talking about pieces of it. He didn't do that.
Well, can you do everything in 4 years? Can any president do anything in 4 years?
You can't run for office making promises that are contingent on you winning a second election that's not even happening.
Have you seen a president under 2 impeachments during an office, being in office and doing your job?
No, but that's a good point. That's what I'm asking you. You're talking about they didn't get Trump a chance from day one. He was under impeachments and constant investigations.
Right.
My question to you is, if he is reelected, what makes you think that won't happen again?
They will follow him. You want to know why? Because, a Republican that wears a red hat, wears a T-shirt and walks down the street, he's going to get harassed. So when he comes in office, people are going to get along for that fact. Okay, they're not going to let you know that we're going to get along with them because I don't let people know that I'm a Trump voter. It's just silence is deadly, and when he is in office, things are going to happen quietly.
So wait, let me make sure I'm getting this clear. You believe that when Trump is elected, we're going to have harmony in this country?
Absolutely.
Based on what?
Based on the economics value of this country. People need money in their pockets.
Okay, Snugs, you do realize they're talking about potentially executing young mothers that want to have an abortion. You think people are going to harmonize behind that because you can give them $2 gas?
Trump won't let that happen.
Why isn't he complaining about it? He's complaining about LGBT
When he comes in office, that won't happen. When he comes in office, that will not happen. Secondly, you're in your car. How many closed stores and malls are along your street now since Trump's been in office? Or since Biden's been in office? We have stores closing monthly. Have you seen your street? Have you seen the stores?
That ain't got. Listen, let me say.
We need economics.
Automation with things like Amazon and DoorDash and shit is why stores are closing. That's not closing because of the Biden economy. People don't have to go out to brick and mortar stores anymore. You can go on Amazon and get anything you want.
Oh, so we're going to become fatter and lazier and have to have health care take care of us more. What happened to going out?
Wait a minute. You said we're going to become fatter and lazier. If you could
Absolutely.
You and I went to high school years ago. If you could take you or I from high school during the time we went to high school in the 1980s. Any of my friends, if you could take any of my friends or any of your friends in high school and teleport them magically to high school in 2023, they would all be like, damn, everybody in this school is fat as hell. We're not
Oh my God!
about to
Listen,
become fat. We already are
back in
fat.
high school, we were half the size we were. Don't tell me you weren't. We were
Yeah.
hot. We had hair in our head, right? And you know what? We'd have 2, 3 jobs, and we wouldn't be crying like these little bitches are today. Come on, we would have 3 jobs. We wouldn't even be home. We'd be riding our bikes around. You know how it was. We were Lance Armstrongs at that age. You know we were. Don't tell me we
Yeah,
weren't.
but I think I
Come
get it. But I
on.
think you're giving Trump a cape and expecting him to solve things that are not going to be solved.
Hey,
And I
he
think
can't solve. He won't be able to solve everything, but economically and for the world platform on these leaders and the war that's going around here, we did not have war. We didn't. Russia did not invade Ukraine when Trump was in office. Missiles weren't blown off in North Korea after Trump warned them to, if you throw one more missile off. He went to go visit Kim Jong Un. We had Middle East peace plan
But wait a minute.
that helps with
Snug,
trade. What happened to that?
I just told you last time we talked. Trump went to visit Kim Jong Un,
Yes.
but 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes.
Looking back now with Trump visiting Kim Jong Un, it's almost like
Right.
the Iraq War. It's like the Iraq War. What did
Right.
that accomplish? What did we name one thing good that came out of Trump visiting Kim Jong Un for America?
No more missiles.
Why do you keep saying that?
We didn't have any
He's
missiles
still
going toward
firing
me or
missiles
Japan.
now. He is still
No.
doing
We
that
didn't.
right now.
Well, of course now because Biden's our president. Nobody see what I mean. Look at the mess now compared to when Trump was in office. There were no ships surrounding Taiwan. Look how many ships are surrounding Taiwan from China. Please,
Okay. All
we
right, but
need
let's go. Let's
Trump
go with what
back
you
to
said.
figure that out.
I'm going to have to move it on, but let's go with what you said. And I'll give you the last
Yeah.
word. Let's say
Okay, great.
everything you're saying. Let's say everything you're saying is correct. No wars, no ships, and all of that. But now all of a sudden
100%.
Biden gets it. But now all of a sudden Biden gets in office, and Kim Jong is firing missiles and things like that. Then,
Absolutely.
in my opinion, if the world only behaves while Trump is in office, and the minute he's out of office, it goes right back to normal. Then he's not creating anything that's long lasting or any success.
Right.
Our president can only be in office for a max of 8 years. So
Right.
if we have calm for 8 years and then it goes right back to chaos, then he didn't do anything long term, did not make
Right.
any deals to ensure that we were going to have peace. Good example, a lot of the deals we made during World War II are still in place. They didn't
Right.
change because a different president got in office. What you're
Right. Right.
talking about is Trump having executive action, doing things that have no guarantee of longevity. That's not success. I'll give you the last word.
Well, the guy that came in didn't land on it and keep it. Didn't keep his success. So the Biden came in here, weakened our economy, made world war because they didn't trust him. They don't think he's mentally healthy, and they took advantage of our president in the United States currently. So it was up to Biden, who didn't continue the strength of this country and keep Trump's policies firm. Now he's late in the game. He wants to put up a wall now quietly. You know, the wall's being built quietly, and he wants to just do everything that Trump actually did. So
But
you know
that's the
what? Trump can make it happen, but it's up to the post presidency to continue the strength of our economy and our American people so that we can get back on our feet.
all right. Come on back anytime,
I
Snugs.
love
We're
you,
gonna be
man.
out of this.
You hear me, handsome.
Absolutely a pleasure.
All right. Have a safe day.
100%.
All right. And what is your oil change cost? Exactly.
Shit.
$100. It was like $50 when Trump was in office for an oil change. No wonder you're spending all that time parked in the car. You don't want to drive it.
I gotta
All
go.
right.
I
Thank you.
gotta go. All right. Always a good talk with Snuggles there. We disagree politically, but I make it clear it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree. We're not here for that. By the way, Coco, appreciate that heart. That did not go unseen. And yeah, Chris, for that hat and mustache. I did see that. Just wanted to point out the deals of Trump. For instance, I was talking about with my last caller there, Crystal. That is my birthday month, June 29th. Thank you. The deal that Trump made, or better yet, the meeting Trump had with Kim Jong-un, and my last caller pointed out, well, Biden didn't follow up on Trump's policies. That's the problem, is that when Trump met with Kim Jong-un, there was no policy. You don't hear Biden suggesting that Kim Jong-un broke the policies that America made with Kim Jong-un under Trump. There was no policy. They just met, shook hands, and said some pleasantries to each other. That's not how we get down on the world stage. I mean, if Trump was really going to accomplish something with Kim Jong-un, there should be some type of deal, some type of treaty, something physical to show. He met with the dude, shook his hands, they walked around a little bit, he got some kind of note in his pocket, but we didn't get to see even what was on that. But there was no official deal made with Trump. So, yeah, maybe Biden looks weaker to Kim Jong-un than Trump does. Okay, we can go with that. But it's not like Kim Jong-un under Joe Biden is violating any type of policy that Trump made with him. He didn't make anything. So that's 6.5 dozen or the other, in my opinion. All right, going back to the box. Biden only makes deals that pay him. Miguel, ouch. By the way, folks, tap the screen. Get your boy up to 35,000 likes. Got 1,000 of you in here. I'll go back to the box. Keep it moving. Appreciate the participation on the program. We'll go with Valley Girl. Welcome to the program. Valley Girl's a friend of the program, indeed. I don't know. We've had some problems with the coming up. Valley Girl, Mike Pence, Christie. They're in the game now. Does that make a difference? 91 John. Appreciate it.
I don't.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Valley Girl, you went mute. You said you don't think so. I'll give her a chance
Because
to.
even his own state couldn't stand him when he was the governor.
You're talking about
He's
Chris
just
Christie
a big mouth, and yeah.
and Mike
Hang on a minute.
and Mike Pence. What about Mike Pence?
I just don't think he has the. Oh, I don't think he has the cojones to be a president. He was my governor in Indiana. He's a little over the top conservative. So
If
I mean,
he
he
is
did okay. He
flawed,
didn't do anything.
if Mike
What's that?
Pence did not do it, you're saying he didn't do anything, and you're basically painting Mike Pence as a flawed politician. I have to ask then, if he is what you're saying he is, why did Trump ever pick him for VP?
I have no idea. I was so confused about that. Like, I don't know if it's because, Mike Pence is not very aggressive. He's very passive. So I don't know if Trump wanted somebody like that, that wouldn't question, his actions and what he wanted to do. Probably so. But I don't think
Well,
he really
do
didn't
we?
make a mark when he was governor or vice president.
Now, Trump promised to surround himself with the best and brightest. Are you saying he didn't do that with Mike Pence?
That's my opinion. I never
Yeah.
understood why he picked him. I don't. I don't think that it's even going to be enough to split a vote. That's just my opinion. Anyway, and I'm glad that you let me come on here and have an opinion.
Fair enough. You're always, listen, it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. I just like to hear the folks what's on the mind of the folks. But you talked about Chris Christie having a big mouth. In this environment, particularly with MAGA, my beloved MAGA folks, don't you see where they may prefer a candidate that is outspoken, boisterous, a showman of sorts? Chris Christie kind of fits that narrative, don't he?
I don't care for him, I guess. And I don't I just don't really care for him. I don't like some of I don't know. I just don't like him. I would never vote for him. I don't have a real reason. He just rubs me the wrong way. Like when I listen to what he has to say, sometimes, very few times, I've agreed with what he was talking about, but he just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't like him.
Now, you do understand that Chris Christie was part of the Trump debate prep team. So
and what's funny is he hates Trump now and has nothing but bad things to say about him. I mean,
yeah. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that Trump is painting Chris Christie to be ineffective, Mike Pence to be weak. He has all sorts of issues with Ron DeSantis. Yet these are the people that Trump regularly surrounded himself with. They didn't find Trump. Trump found them. So his
Right.
promise of surrounding himself with the best and brightest sound like he went out and picked a bunch of traitors, treasonous, and rhinos. Why would we want to
Yeah.
put him back in office?
Well, because he didn't allow those people that he picked to really do anything. If you think about it, He made decisions, and that's why I think he picked Pence, because he didn't want to be questioned, and Pence wouldn't question him.
Okay, well, let's go with that. Do you think that a commander in chief that does not tolerate being questioned for his behavior, his legislation, you think that's the proper path going forward, to have a guy that essentially what you're painting is a picture of a dictator? I don't like to be questioned. Do you think that's what we need for a free country like this?
I don't think that's true. I don't like to be questioned. I think that's a human nature thing with a lot of with different people. I mean, if I make a decision, I might be a little salty if you question my decision, because I think it's the best decision. And I think a lot of people are like that. But I'm an aggressive type A personality. So I'm probably just like him, but I wouldn't call myself a dictatorship. I just like things the way I like them.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I just happen to, maybe it's just my mindset, but I always believe you should have somebody in your life that can tell you how things feel or how things are or how they believe without fearing that you're going to have some kind of backlash for them. I
I
mean,
agree.
no matter
I
how
agree
high
with
up
you.
you are, yeah, there should be somebody that you feel confident. They're going to tell me like it is without worrying about the fact that I'm president or I'm some ball player or I'm rich. They're going to tell me how I feel, whether I like to hear it or not. Isn't that why we like Trump? Is because Trump tells it like it is?
Yes, I love that about him, because I have the same personality. And believe me, I don't have a lot of fans sometimes, because my whole philosophy is, if you don't want me to tell you the truth, then you probably shouldn't ask me, because I might hurt your feelings. That's just how I am. I've been that way my whole life. That's how that's the way my father is, and he raised me um, to be that strong person that has an opinion and then stands behind that opinion or decision.
Right.
So
But what you're
I think that
basically saying is that you basically exhibit a no holds barred. I'm going to tell you how I feel, like you said, regardless of your feelings. But you're also admitting Trump himself, while being like that, Trump cannot stomach another Trump. I don't want another guy around me that's like me.
I
Basically, I
mean
want weak people.
I think that he put people. I think every person that he picked, there was a strategy for that. Mike Pence is a God-fearing Christian, no holds bar Christian,
Right.
and he's been very vocal about his faith. So I'm sure that rang pretty well with like the Christians. You know, you can say whatever you want about Trump. Every president is twisted. They lie. They're even treasonous. There have been presidents that have been questionably treasonous. You're not going to
But
get a
you know
perfect
what? But you
candidate,
know what
but I want
the
a candidate that I can feel safe in my country. And right now, I don't.
But you know what the obvious pushback is going to be. Now, I agree with you that every president does their shit. Every president is capable of doing some dirt if you give them enough line.
Yeah.
However, the pushback is going to be that when Trump got elected, he promised us that he was an outsider. He was not a typical politician. But yet, when he exhibits flaws, we return back, well, all politicians do that. You were supposed to be a non-typical politician, not get elected and then become the same shit we tried to get rid of. So he's
So do
not supposed to do that stuff.
fucking somebody called me a Karen in the
I saw that.
LLLCCP. I'm a Valley Karen. I will tell you, I am not a Karen. That's for sure. However, these comments crack me up. So
I get it.
what
Listen, I get him too. I get him too. I get it. But what do you think? Trump promised to drain the swamp. Not a typical politician. Could not be bought. He's an outsider.
I think he
And then
did
he comes
expose a
in.
lot of corruption. I think he did
But
expose a lot of corruption, and they don't like
but
him for that
but
reason.
but then he gets elected, and then when
Uh-huh.
he does things that are suspiciously corrupt, like folks just say, well, all of them do it.
They do. Every single
But
one of
that's
them
not
lie. Every
But he
single one
wasn't
of them.
supposed to. But that's what I'm saying. I'm about to call you Karen. Valley Girl.
Don't you dare.
You said it. You said it. But
You're
the
lucky
point
you're
I'm trying to
handsome.
make is the point I'm. Thank you. The point I'm trying to make is he was not supposed to do what other politicians did. So anytime folks say, well, they all do it, then that actually is a bigger strike against Trump because he promised he would not be like them all.
I mean, I think that a lot of presidents promise a lot of things during their campaign. They promise because they've never been in there. They don't know what's happening in the federal government till they actually get in there. Do I think he lied? Of course I do. Of course I think
Do you
he's
think
lied. But I
you
think they
mentioned he?
all lie.
Yeah, but
And you know
we
what?
didn't elect
People,
the man. But that's the point I keep saying is we didn't elect the man to be like them all. He promised
right,
he
I
was going to
know.
be an outsider, a different guy.
And that's what your faith was in. And I've had faith in other presidents because of their promises during their campaign. I put them in office because they made those promises. You know, it's just a fact. And I want to say one other thing, and then you can let somebody else come in the box. And I appreciate you bringing me up. I didn't even ask, so
Absolutely,
I appreciate that.
a pleasure.
What I think is, you know, people like the Clintons, the Bidens, the Oprahs, you know, those people used to love him. Jesse Jackson. Oh, what's that guy's name? Al Sharpton. Used to love him. You want to know why? Because he was a Democrat and he gave them all kinds of money. And they
Okay,
thought it
that's
was
a
a
fair
big
point.
joke. It's a
I believe
valid
that.
point because it's the truth. I can
Yeah.
show you video after video after video of proof that he rubbed elbows with these people and they adored him until he ran for president and came down the escalator as a Republican against the Clintons.
Fair
So
point, and
that's what
I
I'm going
agree
to
with
say.
that.
That's what I'm going to
Great.
say. And
Always a pleasure, Valley Girl.
it is always a pleasure to talk to you. You keep being you. You keep doing this show because it's the best show on TikTok.
Damn, damn.
You,
Flattery will get you everywhere. Come on back
you have a,
anytime.
thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Now, like I said, it's always about free speech. Certainly appreciate the compliments of my last guest, but I will say this in regards to the notion that a hell of a lot of left-wingers, yeah, Gabe, appreciate the heart. Thank you for your generosity. Real quick, in regards to the absolute fact that a hell of a lot of were friends with President Trump before he got elected. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the Clintons, a lot of rap stars. Gen Xer, yeehaw! Thank you for the hat and mustache. You guys are being good today. Thank you. In regards to all of the fact that all of these liberals were friends with President Trump, that works both ways. And I'll tell you two reasons why. Got me looking nice there with those shades on. I didn't see who sent that, but thank you. Two reasons that there's an issue to that. First of all, why was all of these folks friends with Trump if all of a sudden he's a racist and things like that? Well, let's be clear. Trump was also friends with a lot of people he hates today, too. Black Cat, I think that said. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw! Some of that's politics. Trump was at Bill and Hillary Clinton's wedding, for instance. Now he's suggesting that they're the most corrupt people on earth. Then why the hell were you at their wedding? There's no denying that whatever corruption capabilities the Clintons have, they were doing that shit when Trump was hanging around them as well. It's not like all of a sudden Bill and Hillary Clinton got out of politics and they suddenly became corrupt. They were doing that stuff probably from the time he was a governor in Arkansas. Yet Trump was hanging around them. Same thing with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. You guys are oftentimes, my beloved MAGA refers to them as race baiters. It's not like they weren't doing it when Trump was hanging around them. So if you want to point out that all of a sudden these people suddenly have a different tune towards Trump when he became a presidential candidate, well, Trump also changed his tune towards these people. So it does work both ways. I would also point out, too, that in addition to all of the changing of the guards, because Trump has hung around a lot of people he was friends with, and now all of a sudden he's enemies with. Ron DeSantis is going to be one of them soon, and Christie, you name it, Mike Pence, General Miley. I mean, Trump has made a lot of enemies. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, the second thing is, once Trump got on the national stage, he really laid into some people personally. When Trump was a citizen, as my last caller pointed out, giving money and stuff like that to people, he wasn't saying all of the stuff he says on the public stage. He might have been saying it in his own circle of friends, that's possible. But he wasn't out publicly saying, you know, Mexico sending us their rapists and murderers and Africa has shithole countries and things like that. My guess is if he was saying that stuff publicly, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson certainly would not have hung around him, and probably not the Clintons either. So when folks go, well, what changed? All of a sudden he became president, now he's a racist. Well, he started saying things. He started doing and saying shit that he wasn't saying back when he was a citizen. That's what made the viewpoint towards Trump change. I grew up with Trump, and I don't recall any hardcore controversial statements Trump was making on the world stage. We know about Central Park 5 and him losing a lawsuit for not renting to colored people, but that stuff was kind of kept under wraps. Now, once you're president, all of your negatives are being projected around the whole damn world. That's going to change opinions. Looking in the comments. Trump is the most corrupt president we've ever had. I cannot submit to that. Simply because most of the corruption affecting me throughout the presidents of America history would have been legal. I'm not going to look at Trump and say he was more corrupt than somebody that oversaw slavery. To me, that shit's way more corrupt than anything Trump could ever do. So I always go against the notion that Carter, Obama, Trump, or Clinton is the worst president ever. There were presidents out there that wanted me to be a slave. All of them are more corrupt than Trump, Clinton, Obama, or Biden. All of them folks, every president before the Civil Rights Act, I'm going to say is corrupt compared to the shit we have now. Because I couldn't vote. I couldn't live anywhere I wanted to. Hell, I couldn't even go to school doing most of that shit. So, yeah, none of these guys are corrupt compared to that. Going back to the box. We'll keep it moving. I see Moo the Tuxedo Cat. Yes, host. About Lyndon.
Oh, what's up, man?
What's up? Talking about Pence, Christie.
Yeah.
Back in the
Pence is running? Pence is running for president? Really? I didn't even know.
Well, let me clear it up. Let me clear it up. Let me clear it up. Both of these men have not officially announced, but they have made it official that they are going to announce. I think Pence is going to do it next Wednesday, and I think Christie is on Tuesday or Thursday. But this time next week, they will both be in it.
We'll try to find some people who care, you know what I mean?
No chance, huh?
Oh, dude, no. I mean, listen, it'll be between Trump and DeSantis will lose out because he's not as good as insults as Trump is. And that's really what it comes down to, right? That's what this primary is all about. You're not going to get anything good out of it. So sit back and watch the dumb shit that the trolls for Trump do to DeSantis, and at least you'll get some entertainment out of it, you know? Because that's what it's
wait a minute. You're making it sound like people are actually not voting for what is best.
They're voting for whoever hates the best. Whoever is the best hater, whoever hates the most minorities, whoever makes the best jokes, that's who they're voting for.
So you're basically saying the Republican Party is just loaded with hateful voters?
Correct. Yes. Correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
They just, they wanted to take the $2 a meal that people get from food stamps. They just wanted to take that away or they're going to crash the world economy. I mean, fuck you guys, man, honestly. You know, fuck your whole party, man.
Oh, come on now. You can't. You think every Republican out
fuck
there...
your whole party, man. Nah, you were willing to crash the world economy to take away $2 a meal from poor people. Y'all are scum, dude. Straight up. Scum.
Damn. You think every Republican is a racist or a hate-minded person?
I think if you hang out in a party that's okay associating with Nazis, you are by default a Nazi sympathizer. And if you don't leave that party, you are okay with hanging out with Nazis.
Wow.
You're okay with that.
What about the fact that Trump condemned. He had to be urged, but he condemned white supremacy. You don't give him credit for that?
I don't give him credit for. I mean, he wanted to off the entire park squad, right? And they were innocent, dude. I don't give Trump credit for anything because no president in the last 50 years has done shit for the middle class. There is no credit due. The two parties have wrecked the entire country.
So at the end of the day, is it safe to assume you're not going to vote at all in 2024?
I'm going to vote for Biden because Trump is a fascist. And I need the person to leave office when their term is over. Not create some stupid-ass coup and then have my support. Oh, nothing happened. Nothing. Oh, well, the police were responsible. The police wouldn't have had to do anything if you didn't run up in there, you jackasses.
Well, there were some Capitol Police that let some of them folks in there, though, right?
That's fine. They're probably fascist. They probably support Trump.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some of them that support Trump. There's no denying that part.
Sure.
But do you want... Now, what about the notion that Trump said go peacefully and these folks chose to act a fool on their own?
I mean, you shouldn't have held that rally before. What kind of dipshit are you holding a rally before an inauguration anyway? What are you, so egotistical that you can't let Biden have his day in the sun? You need to provoke your supporters because you lost an election and you want to cry like a baby about it? Piss off, man. You're like a big orange doofus, dude. Like, seriously, y'all support a big orange pussy, man.
Come on. What about, listen, you got me cracking up here, but let me take it from this angle. You do understand there are legitimate reasons to vote Republican, protecting the sanctity of life.
No, there's not. No, that's bullshit. No, Republicans do not care about the sanctity of life. That is total bullshit. Nah, not at all.
Protecting the life of the unborn, you don't believe they care about that?
Nope. They don't care about kids at all. They just tried to take away their food stamp. They took away their school lunches. They're burning books to give them knowledge because they want their kids to be morons because they're stupid enough to think that books can turn you gay. These people are morons. They do not care about life. They do not care about kids. That's all bullshit.
Oh, shit.
Y'all Republicans are full of shit.
Okay. Right. Well, I don't even know where to go with you, man. God damn. So why do you
I got
have so
something
many...
for all y'all, man. I got it for all of y'all.
Okay, let me ask it to you from this standpoint then. If what you're saying is true, why are there so many African Americans and minorities supporting Trump? And when I say that, I
What's
mean
so many?
Trump has...
What's so many?
Let me define it.
Yeah.
Trump has done better with African Americans than, say, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, Reagan. Why are he doing better than other Republican presidents?
I mean, I'll say this. There hasn't been a Republican president that's won the popular vote since George Bush Sr. So I don't know how well he's really doing.
Well,
how well is he really doing?
Yeah, I'm not here to pretend like Trump came anywhere near 50% of the vote. I get that. He's not going to win a popular vote. But what I'm saying is his share of the black vote is higher than all of the other Republican presidential candidates in our lifetime. Why is that?
I mean, there are black people in the Republican Party, man. People go against their own self-interest. It happens all the time, right? I told you this before. There were black people during slavery who turned in other slaves trying to escape. You always have the Uncle Toms running around. You're never going to get rid of them. But that's not the majority by any means.
I get called that every day. So let me ask you
I know you do, and that's wrong, because you're not.
Yeah. RB in the comments, I want to give you a comment, let you run with it. RB in the comments said, name one thing that you believe Trump did right.
Name one. He left office. Finally. That was great when he did that, man. That was the best thing he ever did.
Oh, not one policy, not one piece of legislation.
No. I don't agree with
Operation
anything
Warp
he did.
Speed.
No.
The
one company that has the most reliable vaccine, the most widely spread vaccine, and the best vaccine wasn't even part of Operation Warp Speed.
The Space Force.
I mean, let's not fuck around here, right? I'm ex-military. That's a big fucking joke, right?
I gotta go. Oh, move the tuxedo cat. Good job. Damn.
Love you, boss. Have a good one.
Wow, that was a hell of a conversation. Buddha Tuxedo Cat is always welcome back. Like I said, we get folks from both sides of the aisle. It's not about banning, censoring, or blocking folks. I get folks from the right that are just as strong in their convictions as my last caller was. So don't understand, I'm not putting folks on from specific sides of the aisle. I come up with whoever's name is in the section, I bring them up and I let them speak. So it is what it is. But damn, that was that was interesting. Universal Intelligence says Trump did not create the Space Force. That already existed before him, or before he came in. He only endorsed. Well, whatever the case may be, it began officially under his watch. So he gets credit for it. I mean, it is what it is. I understand what you're saying. Some folks will suggest, well, Abraham Lincoln really did not want to free the slaves. He just did it because it helped him in the Civil War. Yeah, maybe so. But at the end of the day, he gets credit for doing it. It would not have happened without him. So I'm going to give him credit for the Space Force. Biden has weaponized federal agencies and turned America into a banana republic. Well, I've talked about federal agencies, particularly the FBI, because Trump is unhappy with the FBI going after him and things like that. Biden didn't weaponize federal agencies. Federal agencies were weaponized long before Biden came around. I've said it before, for folks who are critical of the FBI, all you have to do is listen to African Americans. We've been talking about the FBI being weaponized your entire life, and I don't even know how old you are. We've been saying that shit your entire lifetime. It was just falling on deaf ears. All of a sudden it happens to Trump and it's like a light bulb comes on. No, President Obama was using the IRS in a weaponization way. President Obama was doing that. We've been using these groups. President Bush with that damn Patriot Act, supposedly to stave off terrorism. Who do you think in 2023 represent just about all of the victims of the Patriot Act? It's Americans, gangbangers, mob bosses, and shit like that. They're using that against Americans. So the FBI, the federal government, has been weaponized long before President Biden came along. Now, that's not to say he might not be doing it too, but I don't believe Trump was above doing that. If it would work against his people, he would do it as well. I mean, you're trying to use Mike Pence to overturn the election. That's using the government in a way that's not right. He got pissed off because Mike Pence would not buy into it, but they all do that. Looking in the comments. How can a broke-ass brother be Republican? Go talk to a broke-ass brother that's Republican and ask him. Trump campaign met with, what did it say? Trump campaign met with Russian nationals over 250 times. Wow. Wow. All right, let's go back to the box. Tap the screen. Get your boy up to 60,000 likes. Nearly 1,000 of you in here. Always a pleasure having you here. You could be anywhere you want to be. The fact that you're here is an honor. As always, will be a MAGA-friendly program, even though liberals are welcome as well. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. The fact that you disagree with yours truly doesn't mean a damn thing here. Takesha Blue. Takesha, welcome back to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, my friend.
Christie, what's up? Mike Pence and Chris Christie's in the game now. Does that make a difference?
Absolutely not.
No difference from either side of the aisle.
I don't see nobody even worthy of running that's running on their Republican side. I just don't.
Well,
Mike Pence, the fly that was on Mike Pence's head don't even want him. And Chris Christie, how he gonna run for president? He won't even run around the block and lose no weight. No.
Are you fat shaming?
I am.
Well, listen, Trump is not in shape. I mean, is that really what we're going to?
And neither am I.
So what does that got to do with it then? You don't need to run around the block.
I'm just saying he don't need to be running for nothing.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay, I get that, but Chris Christie did run as a governor from a Republican side of the aisle in a state that's notoriously liberal. That takes a bit of that takes a bit of effort to succeed in doing that. You don't give him any credit for that.
He not gonna win the press. I don't know why all these people trying to run for presidency that they not gonna win. All they gonna do is split all them votes up, and then the
Yeah.
Democrat gonna win. So yeah, let them all get in there and run.
So you think we're gonna
Tell
have?
Lindsey Graham to come out and run.
Thank you for that,
Yeah, let
Tanya.
them. I
Tanya.
want them to have about 45 people running, so they can go on and everybody can vote for who they like, and then we just gonna win it.
So
Yeah.
you think we're looking at 4 more years of Biden?
Yeah,
But you do realize a hell of a lot of
absolutely.
liberals. You do realize a hell of a lot of liberals are not happy with Biden. You got a lot of Democrats saying we want somebody else. He's too old. How do you see him as an automatic victory?
I honestly don't see where y'all keep getting this stuff from. It ain't no lot of Democrats that said it.
Yeah,
Just cause
Biden.
just cause a couple of them said it don't mean they speak for the whole party.
I mean the polls. If you look at the polls, even Democratic left-leaning polls,
I
they
don't I
do.
don't I don't I don't believe polls.
So you believe that Democrats are pretty much favorable of Biden?
I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna say all of them, but I think enough of them are. Listen, we didn't want him when we first got him. We just didn't want Trump. And
Yeah,
it'll probably be like that again.
yeah. So in other words, it's not that Biden is doing a great
So
job. We just dislike. Damn, Kenneth, Kenneth, thank you. Put me out in the galaxy. I didn't expect that. Damn, thank you. So it's in other words, it's not that we don't want. It's not that we favor Biden. We're just going to vote for him because he's a lesser of two evils.
I think Biden is doing a pretty good job
What
with
about
what
the
he was
economy?
handed
Well,
and the fact that he got come on now.
so you think?
Look what
So
he
you
had to
think
do to
that?
get the debt ceiling done.
You know they're talking about a possible recession is on the horizon.
Ain't no recession on no horizon.
So you
I keep
going
telling
against
you,
the
these people just making up stuff.
So you don't trust the
There is no
polls. You don't
recession
trust.
on the horizon.
But listening to what you're
No.
saying, you don't trust the polls. You don't trust the economists. You know people are going to say you're acting cult like you just gonna ride behind Biden no matter what.
That's not what I said, so I'm not in a cult. I don't have Biden flags. I don't put Biden in my yard. What I'm doing is dealing with reality. You have seen polls that have gone the other way. Okay, it was supposed to be a red wave. There was no wave, and there wasn't even a meeting of the people during that 2022. So we couldn't trust that poll. Okay. Then you said, what else you said?
Did I just see a fucking
There was
whale
not
come up
even
there?
a
Did I?
meeting of the people.
Yeah, hold on a
You heard
second,
what I said?
trucker. Yeah, I heard you, but Trucker threw me off with that fucking wheel. Trucker, thank you. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so you make it sound like under the Biden administration, our economy's not doing that bad. You hear people complain about the price of fuel, they're complaining about their 401ks. There's a hell of a lot of complaining economically under Biden. You don't see how that should hurt them at all.
What I told you the other day before right after they got mad at what I said and they shut your live down.
Oh my God.
People just jumping on the bandwagon. They shut your live down right after I got through because they got mad at what I was saying. These people still shopping. These people still driving around. These people still going on vacation. The grocery store is not empty. The malls are not either. People just jumping up saying they struggling because other folks saying they struggling because it making Biden look bad. I'm out here right now, and I promise you, I'm at Chick-fil-A, and you know how high Chick-fil-A is, and the parking lot is very, very, very full. Some of these people probably still saying, I can't afford that and still eat Chick-fil-A. They just jumping on the bandwagon. These folks ain't struggling.
So,
I'm on
so
disability. These folks ain't struggling.
I
I'm eating
wanted to.
Chick-fil-A.
I wanted to give you credit. Yeah, that when you ran off, you can still put gas in the pickup. You're still buying firearms and shit. That was probably one of the best rundowns I've heard in a while. That was you did pretty good
Because
on that.
it's
I
true.
gotta move it
People
on though.
do
But
what
that
they
was good
want
shit.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Takesha. Enjoy
All
that
right, friend.
Chick-fil-A. Get that number
Oh, I'm
one
definitely.
deluxe meal. Get that number one deluxe meal.
I'm getting back to them.
Catch you later. All right. Always good to talk to Keisha, if I can say it right. The better country of the world is USA. User, in regards to the better country of the world is USA, depends on what your definition of better is. Is it better in terms of economic freedom? Better in terms of the children's economic or better yet academic performances in terms of our children, how well they're doing in schools? We're not the best. What about life expectancy? The life expectancy of an American citizen compared to, say, a Japanese citizen. We're not the best. Access to health care. We're not the best. So there are areas, and I'm not here to pretend like America is not a great nation. We are indeed a great nation. But there are a hell of a lot of categories that we are not the best in. So when folks talk about we're the best, no, we're not. Even in terms of freedom, there's a hell of a lot of things you could do long before in other nations that you could do here. We still have not legalized marijuana, for instance. That's just been legal in other nations for a generation. You can walk down the street smoking a joint with a prostitute in Western Europe long before you could in America. In fact, you still can't do all that shit in America. So, yeah, there are areas where we're not the best. Great nation with many flaws. I like that statement there, Beverly. That probably says it spot on. Let's keep it moving, though. We'll go right back we'll try with Tanya, I think it is. You had some problems with your audio last time. I don't know if it's going to do it. But we'll keep it moving just in case. A big food and health care, because Republican politicians are indebted to wealthy corporations. Also known as lobbyists. I don't disagree with that. Tanya, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, I just this is the first time I've ever been on. I just wanted to correct Snuggles because anytime we can, it's always fun, right?
Okay.
And he had said,
what you got for me? What you got?
Well, remember he said there was no missile tests from North Korea under Trump. Well,
Yeah,
that's patently false.
That happened six months after Trump met with Kim Jong-un. He was already firing missiles over Japan. I've told him before that's not true.
Yeah, 2017 there was 17, one of which was that first intercontinental ballistic missile. Remember?
Yep.
The mini H bomb. There was one quiet year, 2018. In 2019, he tested that one that you could shoot from a submarine.
Yeah.
And the UN was deeply troubled. And then in 2020, there was those new strategic weapons he kind of kept under hush. So there was lots of shooting.
Let me frame it up for a minute. By the way, Kenneth, thank you for that apparel, that TikTok cap. I'll frame it because you're talking about something that several callers back. So some folks may have just tuned in, but what you're talking about, for you folks watching, what he's talking about is, I asked a question to an earlier caller when the caller celebrated Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un. Dakota and Kenneth, yeah, thank you for those caps. The caller was suggesting that because Trump met with Kim Jong-un, that was a great accomplishment. And I asked the caller, looking back 6-7 years now since that's happened, what did America gain out of that at all? And his response was, well, Kim Jong-un stopped firing missiles. And what me and this caller now are making it clear, that did not happen. Kim Jong-un gave a short time period, few months. He didn't fire anything for a few months. And then the moment America took its attention off of Kim Jong-un, he wanted attention again, and he went right back to firing missiles. So my point, and I'm assuming you agree also, Tanya, or Tona, how do you pronounce your name? Tona, Tanya?
It's Tona.
Tona, okay. Tona, and I'm assuming you also agree is that looking back, we didn't accomplish anything out of Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un.
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Take care.
But I hear folks, Yeah, and I hear folks suggesting that that was some type of accomplishment by President Trump, is that he got to shake hands and meet this, tend to consider as Dr. Evil. But I'm like, just because you met with the guy, nothing came out of it. Okay. Looking in the comment, my caller dropped. So looking in the comment, someone says not true. He gained respect around the world. Fancy prancy. You can't spend respect. You can't do anything with respect. I'm from the south side of Chicago. There are people who have died trying to get respect or went to prison fighting over respect. You can't do nothing with respect. Certainly if you get respect, that can be lost with the next guy. We don't want respect. We want treaties. We want actual agreements. If you got a president in power that everybody is fearful of, and then the moment he's out of power, the next guy is considered weak and the world starts acting up again, then the last guy didn't accomplish anything. All you did was held them at bay temporarily. Now, that would be far more of an accolade and something to celebrate if our president was Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, Saddam Hussein, or somebody who could serve for a damn lifetime. But in America, the presidents can only serve a max of 8 years. So it doesn't matter how much you fight for respect or how much you got people that fear you, you're only going to be around for a short period of time. We need you to accomplish something in writing that's going to outlast you. And most of the accolades we give Trump are stuff that disappeared with the Trump presidency. That doesn't say anything. You can do this, but the minute you're out of office, it goes away. You're only going to be around for 4 years. That's not accomplishing anything. Give us some treaties, some agreements, some things that are on paper that are tangible that we can hold people accountable for after you are out of office. Trump didn't do that. Trump didn't do that. You can talk about Biden being a weaker president and Kim Jong-un acting up because he sensed Biden's weakness. We can debate that. But one thing you're not saying is that now that Biden is in office, Kim Jong-un felt like he could violate the treaty that Trump set up because there isn't one. There isn't one. So it's got to be beyond executive action. Trump proved that Obama executive actions could be wiped out. He wiped out a lot of shit that Obama put in place. And Biden is able to wipe out things that Trump put in place. That's why you need the Senate and Congress behind you to be a unifier so you can get treaties, paperwork, documents, and things like that to make it real life legislation. Not just based on executive orders or, as you stated, respect. Looking in the comments. Trump drinking water with 2 hands. That is so strong. Okay, I do remember that. All right, let me go back to the box. You guys are mean. You guys are real mean. We'll go to Gen Xer. Fuck around and find. All right, Gen Xer. Always love that moniker. Fuck around and find out. Good afternoon, Gen X, just like yours truly. Mike Pence, Chris Christie. Now in the running as of a week from now. What do you think? Any differences? Any changes?
No, I don't think either one has a fighting chance. They just don't have the character. They do not have the interesting personalities to compete with Trump. I mean, Christie may trade some barbs with him, but that's here's the problem. And this is kind of getting off. This country has become so polarized politically that it doesn't matter who you put up there. People are going to vote for people and not policy. And that's sad.
Right. Now, it's interesting you say that because Ron DeSantis was in Iowa yesterday and he made a statement he basically said that we don't need to vote for a showman. In other words, we need a politician that's going to get things done. We don't need to elect somebody just because they're a showman. And what you just started out our conversation with is the fact that neither Mike Pence or Chris Christie are showmen. So in other words, you're suggesting that people want that showman as opposed to an actual politician.
Yeah. And I'll give you a case in point. I actually like DeSantis and I agree with him, but come 2024, I'm voting for Trump.
So you're voting for the showman. Are you voting for anything you think that Trump could accomplish that DeSantis could not accomplish, or are you voting for Trump because he's a boisterous, over-the-top showman?
I'm voting for Trump because I think that he can accomplish things. He's proven that in the past. We can argue it back and forth. Walking into North Korea was a huge accomplishment. Now, the fact that the dialogue wasn't continued, again, that's another argument in itself. But I think that if Biden would have pulled the reins and kept that dialogue going with Kim Jong-un, I mean, look, you got a hostile nation or a potentially hostile nation with frickin' nukes. You don't want them as enemies.
But here's the problem I have with that. When you say the dialogue didn't continue under Biden, I would submit to you that even at the end of the Trump administration, there was no strong dialogue with North Korea. I don't think the dialogue even under the Trump administration showed that it was continuing. He met with the guy, they exchanged pleasantries, but after that, there was no more Kim Jong-un discussion with Trump. That relationship that Kim Jong-un had with America was already starting to go down before Trump left office.
Let me ask you this, Tim. Do you
Sure.
think that if he was reelected, do you think he wouldn't pursue a continued dialogue with the North Korean dictator?
That's a good question. It is possible that could have happened. I don't disagree with that. But as I told a caller before you, is that when you're elected president, you got 4 years. You don't get 8. So you can't be promising stuff that's contingent on you winning 2 elections. Give us what you can do in your first 4. And then when it's time for you to get reelected, give us what you can do to continue your administration. But when I challenge people on Trump failing, well, that's only because he served 1 term. Well, that's the goal. Show us what you can do, like draining the swamp, for instance. He had 4 years in office. Do you look back at the Trump administration and feel like he drained the swamp?
I don't think he really had an opportunity. I mean, if we look at the big picture, I mean, they were impeaching him twice.
Yeah.
We had COVID going on. Do I think he had good intentions? Yes. Do I think he wanted to? Yeah, but no, he didn't. And I agree with you. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't plan for 6 years out. Plan for 4. Do what you
Right.
can do in the 4, so that at the end of the 4, people can say, "Hey, the guy did what he said he was going to do. Let's see what he can do in the next 4."
Yeah. Do you believe he repealed and replaced Obamacare? That was another promise.
Well, he half kept the promise. He repealed it. He didn't replace it.
Right. Which that could actually mean some Americans are worse off because they may have had a shitty health plan under Obama, but it was serving them to some degree. He comes along and repeals it, but doesn't replace it with any damn thing, which means you might even be worse off.
Well, he repealed it, and then they impeached him before he could replace it.
And that's another point, because a lot of folks will point that out. What you're talking about is he could have accomplished more if he wasn't constantly being impeached and being investigated. And it makes me ask the obvious question: if we reelect him, and he has shown that he cannot do much if people are constantly after him, is there any one of us that believe that if Trump gets reelected, they're not going to be after this guy again?
Oh, I have no doubt. Of
Right.
course they're going to be. Yeah,
So if
they're
he's
going to make his
shown
life hell.
Right. So if he's shown that when people are pursuing him, he cannot accomplish much, why would we put him back in office knowing that that same scenario is likely to happen?
The GOP needs somebody in there that's actually going to do something. If Rand Paul ran, I'd vote for Rand. But he's probably the only person I'd vote for over Trump, with the exception of Jesse Ventura, which leads me to another thing. I wanted to mention this to you. I don't know if you
Jesse
read.
Ventura, the guy
I
hanging out
don't
in
know.
Mexico, the former Minnesota governor?
I don't know if you read, Tim, but if you ever get a chance, he wrote a book called Democrats and Republicans, Gangs in
I
Our
have heard,
Government.
I didn't read it, but I know the book.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Jesse Ventura. Okay. So
I think
taking
he'd have
Jesse
a fighting
Ventura.
chance.
Okay,
I
but
think Jesse
taking
Ventura would have a
Jesse.
fighting chance because he can debate Trump and probably win.
No, I don't know. I don't think MAGA at this stage in the game. I don't think a lot of MAGA that are true loyalists to Trump would go to Jesse Ventura. I can't see that. Maybe I'm wrong. You might be right, but I can't. Now, to me, Ventura, he would appeal to the Alex Jones crowd, the Glenn Beck crowd, because he's knee deep in conspiracies. But I don't know. I don't know if he could really take the MAGA crowd on and succeed. I just don't see it. But like
You
I
know what?
said, maybe.
They said the same thing about Jesse when he ran for governor of Minnesota, and he did a grassroots campaign, and he freaking won. He won.
Yeah, yeah, he
So
did.
never say never. Is it
Sure.
likely? No. Is it
No.
possible? I think so. My house is full of MAGA gear, and I'd put it all in a box if Jesse ran.
Damn. Damn. So
Yep.
let's obviously, because we know it's not likely to happen. Let's take Jesse off the ballot. Take Rand Paul out of it. If we go back to President Trump, I have to ask that question because you didn't give me a clear cut answer. Knowing that Trump cannot necessarily accomplish much if people are always after him, and admitting that if he gets reelected, people are going to be always after him. Why would we put him back in office knowing that he's not going to accomplish much under that scenario?
Because it would be the most entertaining shit show in the next 4 years than we saw in the last 4. I mean,
So
you
you're
got to
voting
admit,
for entertainment.
I'm voting for entertainment, man. What else is there? The parties are so gone at this point. Why not? If you took the most beloved Democrat family in America, okay? If you took the most beloved Democrat family in America, the Obamas, and Michelle Obama ran on the Republican ticket, the same people who called Michelle Obama a man, which we all know she isn't, would vote for her. All the people
No,
that love her on the Democrat side
no,
would not.
no, not one chance in hell do I agree with that. If Michelle Obama ran as a Republican, you would probably have another party switch. That's what I believe would happen. It would be the civil rights era all over again. The Republicans would start voting Democrat. I don't believe that.
Had to give you something to think about, my friend. Had to give you something to think
Yeah,
about.
that ain't something to think about. That's something to have a fucking nightmare over. But I gotta move it on. Gen
All right,
X,
man.
always a good talk. Always a good
You
talk,
have a
man.
good day, brother. Pleasure talking to you as always. We'll see you next time.
My door is always open to you. All right, moving on. Gen Xer. Fuck around and find out. Love that conversation. What do you folks think? Michelle Obama with an R behind her name. You think the Republicans would be down for an Obama presidency? I don't even know what to do other than laugh at that one. Let me keep it moving. That was one of the most unusual statements I've ever heard. Make America great again. Wait, make America great again, where we as people have freedom of speech. I guess that says J.R. Money. In regards to the comment, make America great again, where we as people have freedom of speech. We've never had freedom of speech in this country. Never. What we have had is freedom to say what the people in power thought was a good thing to say. But you've never had freedom of speech in this country. You couldn't say you were gay for most of America's history. You couldn't say certain things about this group of people or that group of people throughout America. You've never had freedom of speech. Never. Not one time in this country have you had that. Hell, remember, what is his name? Like Dan Quayle? Murphy Brown was on television back in the 80s or whatever, showing that a woman could succeed in life, in business, without the need of a husband and a man. And the right went apeshit over that. Or when Ellen DeGeneres in her 1990s sitcom came out as a lesbian and the right went nuts over that. Folks always talk about the liberals and cancel culture. Cancel culture has existed long before we even called it cancel culture. There's a reason why you watch shows like The Honeymooners where a husband and wife are sleeping in separate beds in some of those shows, because it wasn't even cool for the Christians to let you be on TV in the same damn bed together. Or Sidney Poitier getting hit by a sheriff and smacking a white sheriff back and everybody going nuts because it's on. We've always had cancel culture. It's just generally been right-wing oriented cancel culture. It's been cancel culture. I hate to say this. I know some of you folks are not going to like it, but this is what we often say. We speak on this channel. Cancel culture, typically in America, has been dominated by white, straight Christian males. In modern times, That's the group now that is being ostracized and mistreated to some degree. But that is the group traditionally that was doing it to everybody else, not allowing other people to say how they felt and shit like that. Unfortunately, the tables have turned and it's now happening to them, and they're realizing this is some bullshit. We don't like this. I can't be Christian out in the open. But folks had problems with people being Muslim, Jehovah's Witness, and all the other religions. So cancel culture has always been with us. It has always been around. In the comments, R3Y69 says, cut it out. You're clueless, sir. Fair enough. I always invite my guests. If you think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, feel free to come in the box. I make the solemn promise on every program. I'll never block, ban, or censor you just because you don't agree with the guest or or the host. Just because you do not agree with the host, or even in this case where you're telling the host he don't know a damn thing what he's talking about. Give you plenty of time to state your point without any fear of being blocked, banned, or censored. That's how much we observe free speech here. And anyone that's been watching the program for any length of time knows damn well we hold up that promise. So if you don't think I know what the hell I'm talking about, come in the box and let your boy know. All right, moving on. And you're always invited back afterwards, too. The only Sparkle Pony. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the program. By the way, folks,
there may only be one that sparkles.
100,000 likes would be beautiful. It might not be enough for you to get that done, but get your boy likes up. Helps out the algorithms, brings in more
If you're one of my followers in the live and you don't start following the like button or hit the like button, you're getting blocked from it. Get that ass up. Let's go.
You ain't got to do all that, but I appreciate it.
Nah, man, I'm a dictator. I don't care.
Oh, damn. Thank you. So, Christie, appreciate it. Chris Christie and Mike Pence don't make a difference.
That dude, oh my God, Christie, man. Like, brother, man, just pump your own gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to Florida so you can pump your own gas. You know, like, stop the bullshit, man. He was only really a DA. He wasn't really I think he was mayor, right? He wasn't governor. But whatever, it doesn't matter. He sucked at being a lawyer too. Like, man, it's time for you to like kind of just let's hang the boots up, you know.
Let
And
me give you before you get to Pence. Let me say this: even if everything you're saying is true, I believe Chris Christie will have the same effect as Tulsi Gabbard did. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard really laid into Hillary Clinton, and she received a hell of a lot of support from folks on the right because she tore a new one to Hillary Clinton. If Chris Christie tears a new one to President Trump, he's going to get all sorts of applause from people on the left, never Trumpers and rhinos. So even if Chris Christie is as bad, as you're saying he is, all he has to do is score some punches on Trump, and that might be all you need to do.
Good luck with that. Trump embarrassed the shit out of him. I mean, literally, not only just in debates, but I mean, when he was going through his legal issues and stuff like that, Trump embarrassed him, man. And he did it. He did it because Christie was, being what I would call a little baby back B word. And I mean, he couldn't own the fact that he was a terrible DA, and couldn't own the fact that, he's really just a terrible politician in general. And then guess what Christie did? He licked the bootstraps of the other human being. And I mean, he was a token guy.
Yeah, but Chris Christie now has a lot of ammunition to throw at President Trump, such as porn stars and NDAs and court cases. He has some shit to bring up. You don't see that?
No, because I swear that if he did that, I'm pretty sure that Mr. Trump has some other shit on him, like because of all the things that he went through with his DA, what he went through when he was going through his issues as the former DA and mayor or whatever. And by the way, I think a lot of this is just a charade. That's my opinion. I think that is a way to get on several different platforms with several different candidates and get all the way around the country to say, hey, Republicans are still here. And none of these people have a real chance, except Trump. And DeSantis is just a backup plan. And you heard me say that yesterday. Get him in there for campaign financing reasons. That's it. And he's gonna withdraw.
Well, I will say this from the liberal side of the aisle, even if everything you're saying is true, what us liberals might favor is no matter who comes out of this fight, they're going to come out badly bruised. I mean, if you got Trump, Christie, and Ron DeSantis all beating the shit out of each other, and Biden is going to face little to no abuse at all. I mean, I
Handsome
don't.
liberal. I'm gonna say this very slowly, okay? It's Big Bird versus Tickle Me Elmo. It's gonna be that. It's gonna happen. Everyone
Who's
needs to
Big Bird?
be. They
Which
need
which
Big Bird.
which
Big Bird is
candidate is
Trump.
Big Bird?
Big Bird
Which
is
candidate?
Trump,
Okay.
and Tickle Me Elmo is Biden. Okay, he's gotta be tickled into where he needs to go. So it's gonna be those
Mhm.
two. It's gonna happen. I mean, there is no way around it. There's no candidate on either side that would even have a chance in hell to convince the American people that they are ready to be the president as an executive on both the domestic and foreign realm. Like, mostly the foreign one. None of those people have foreign policy experience.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, first of all, let's be clear. Obama didn't have foreign policy experience either, and he did all right.
But he had a vice president that could help him out with that.
Okay,
These people, who's the vice president that's going to help out with foreign policy experience? If they don't have it, who's the other one they're going to pick? There's no one else to
well,
pick.
you got politicians that have foreign policy experience that you could pick as a VP. You can do
Yeah.
that. I mean, like let's
Uh,
say here, let me give you an example. I know a hell of a lot of my MAGA folks don't like the guy, but John Kerry has met with all sorts of leaders, just like Ambassador Bolton on the right, which a
you
lot of
telling
folks
me that
don't
one of
like.
these
Once
Republicans
again,
should pick
huh?
John? You're saying a Republican should pick John Kerry?
I'm just saying that you mentioned not having foreign policy experience.
That's
I'm
my
saying
point,
that.
though. Is on the right side for sure. There's no. I'm saying the right side's even worse than the left. Like there is no one there because we went. What we had the presidency four of the last 12, 16 years. Like we don't have
I think
anyone that's been there.
I think the
Except
problem is
Pence, I
there's a
guess.
lot of
But I
people.
think Pence is.
Here's where
I
I
think Pence.
disagree. I think the problem is there's a lot of right wingers that have foreign policy experience, but because of Trump, a lot of the Republican Party has been cannibalized. There's a hell of a lot of people that have suddenly become rhinos and disliked in favor of Trump. Let's take Liz Cheney, for instance. They hate her, but she obviously has a dad that could give her all kinds of foreign
No, I
policy
want that
assistance.
family of politics gone. And if there's one thing that I will applaud Trump on doing, and he did it fucking quickly, by the way, it is that he erased family politics pretty quickly, and we talked about that. He did it
Yeah.
quickly. He did it in 7 years. So I mean, there's only one family left. That's Pelosi's, and she's gonna walk her ass right out the exit door here soon. So I mean, and once you get rid of that one, th- think about it. Which one is left? They're
The
gone.
Romney?
And
Romney is still out there. Mitch McConnell is
Ron,
still out there.
I'm talking about families that's in like all of the sons, the
Okay.
daughters,
Yeah.
like that they
Right.
were a family of politics that kept cycling through those
I
political
don't.
seats.
I get your point, but I don't see where there's any serious cash value in getting rid of a family that's been in politics. I mean,
Because
you could have a short term. I mean, look at Santos. He is not a family and politician, and he's more corrupt than all of them. So
But you have to establish the idea that they can't be there, right? That they can't do it that way. They can't continue
right,
to do that cycle. And I'm not saying that there weren't establishment people already there. That yeah, of course there's going to be establishment people there. But if you don't think that the Clintons, the Bushes, the Cheneys, the Pelosi's, the McConnells, I mean, uh, there were people that were there forever. Sanders, I mean, Jesus, there's so many of them and they are gone. All of them, they're all gone. And actually, it's going to be a little scary because they're all gone, but it's also going to be really, really, really interesting to see how that works out. Now,
I don't
that
think
being
I
said,
don't think the Americans. I don't think America is really going to be any different by getting them out. Because I will say this
Byron
too.
Donald is the only one that should be running against fucking
I will
Trump.
say this, even though these families are out of politics, that's not to say they're not using their connections to get things done behind the
And
scenes. I
I
mean,
understand that, and I
yeah,
recognize that, but they're not.
yeah,
But they're not on a seat, and they're not on the House floor or the Senate floor. They're not affecting that at that level when the doors close. You know what I'm saying?
fair, yeah.
And so that's really what I'm trying to say is
So
that
let
they're
me
not
ask you this.
lawmakers anymore.
Let
Well,
me
hold
ask you
on.
this.
Can I say one
I got
thing? Byron
okay.
Donald should be the only person going against Trump. because that motherfucker is a gangster. I mean,
So
that dude
let
is
me
a
ask you this
straight
though.
gangster.
Before I move it on, let me ask you this. I got to move it on. Before I do, let me ask you this: if it comes down to Trump versus Biden, are you going to vote at all?
Oh no, I'm gonna vote, and I'll vote for Trump because I will not vote for someone that can't find his bed without Google Maps. I can't do that. I
All
just can't.
right,
I
all
just can't
right,
do that.
okay, all right. So it will be Trump. It is over Biden because you
I mean,
believe
I would
Biden.
be. It would make me sick. It would make me throw up afterwards, and I would go drink, 7 different, alcoholic beverages, and try to forget that day. But I mean, I am going to vote because I do believe that it's necessary. But I'm going to also vote for the local elections, which is more necessary. A lot of people
I agree
forget
with
that.
that. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, Sparkle. I got to move it on. You know how we do.
Later, bro.
Good talking. All right, appreciate it. In the comments, please let Trump be the nominee so Biden can beat him again. Delta, hey, I haven't seen you in the comments in a while. Delta, appreciate you coming back. There's a lot of folks on the left that believe exactly what you said, is that Biden's best opportunity for success is running up against Trump because Trump is so divisive. I actually do echo that sentiment to some degree. Now, I believe in Dot. Yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. You guys have been good shit today. Participation is right on almost 100,000. There's some lazy thumbs in here, but 94,000 likes. I'm not going to hate on that, so I appreciate that. But I will say, I do also believe that Biden has a better chance against Trump than some of the other Republican candidates. For the simple fact, he's beat him once. Now, I understand some of my beloved MAGA don't think makes sense at all. You guys believe that Trump won in 2020. I can't argue with that, but he beat him once in 2020. So if you beat somebody once, you can beat them again. You tap the baby mama, you can always tap it. You know what guys say. Well, same thing. I do believe that Biden's best chance is probably against Trump. And I'm now starting to believe that he would have a good chance against DeSantis for the simple fact that while DeSantis had a pretty good record, he's moved further to the right and tried to emulate Trump to get a hold of MAGA, to try to get a hold of Trump supporters. So I believe that DeSantis in recent months, particularly since the midterms, has really hurt himself. And then I also believe because he's went up against Trump, there are some MAGA that are not going to support DeSantis at all. Because Trump has started to slowly erode away DeSantis' support. So I don't think DeSantis could beat Biden at this point. I'm starting to favor Chris Christie. I like Chris Christie. What can I say? I'm a political junkie. I watch him on Sunday mornings. This week with George Stephanopoulos. I am very interested to see what he has to say in the debates. I lean left, but I like Chris Christie. I think the country needs a moderate. I'm not saying I'm going to automatically vote for the guy. My vote could go any way, whoever is best for the country. But at the end of the day, I really am interested to see what Chris Christie has to say. But we'll be talking as time goes on. You never know. Looking in the comments, Chris has zero chance. I do believe his chances are very, very slim. I agree with that, Cool T. I don't think he has a really strong chance of winning either. But I do want to hear what he has to say. Magic Stick, Democrats will hold the White House for 16 years after 2024. The party itself is not viable. I'm assuming you're suggesting that the Republican Party is not viable and that Democrats will keep winning. I don't know if I don't believe that. I can't, well, let me just say this. It could be true. We don't know. But fact is, you can have, even if the Republican Party sucks, you can have a Democrat in there that's fucking up stuff and people are willing to get away from that guy. So you can't just say Democrats are going to be in office because the Republicans have messed up. You can get a Democrat in there that starts a war or does something stupid. So you don't know what's going to happen over the next 16 years. But I will say this before I part ways with you folks. There are 3 parties running in this race. And for 2 of these parties, it's game 7. It's do or die. The 3 parties in this race are, you got Democrats, Republicans, and MAGA. That is who is running in the 2024 election. The Democrat is going to be a Republican and somebody representing MAGA, which would probably be Trump. The reason why I say only 2 parties are dealing with game 7, do or die, is because I do believe if Trump wins, he's going to really set the Democratic Party back substantially, whether it's getting to appoint another Republican Supreme Court judge, being a 7-2 majority, or rolling back Roe versus Wade even further, maybe strengthening the Second Amendment even stronger. The Democrats are going to be really set back far if Trump wins again. Same thing with the Democrats. If the Democrats run, the MAGA era is done, period. It could possibly be up to and including Trump coming up on charges. But if the Democrats win, the Trump legacy will go down in history as probably one of the worst presidents we've had in recent times, because the Democrats will get to narrate a lot of the story, and MAGA's only going to be around for so long. I mean, history, though, will dictate Trump as a horrible president. Hell, you might have a hard time naming anything after him. A school, a ship, a street. Trump may even have a hard damn time getting a library named after him. So if the Democrats win, the MAGA era is also done. I don't believe it's game 7 for Republicans. I think traditional conservative leaning citizens, things are, for the most part, still fairly decent with them, having conservative values. Obviously, Trump is not going to trounce the Republican Party, and I don't think the Democrats are going to trounce the Republican Party either, because there's a lot of Democrats that favor the Liz Cheneys and Adam Kinzingers and folks like that because they are against Trump. So it's really a MAGA versus Democrat issue. And if one of those parties is not elected and the other one gets it, they're going to immediately try to destroy the remnants of what's left. So Democrats, Republicans, and MAGA are running. Obviously, the Republican candidates are the Mike Pences, the Chris Christies. I see Ron DeSantis as a MAGA candidate, but I would say Tim Scott is a Republican, Nikki Haley and all of those folks. Those are the Republicans that are running. Obviously, Biden, Marianne Williamson, somewhat. That Kennedy guy is a wild card. Nobody's going to vote for that guy. I don't know what the hell he represents, but that's what we're dealing with. And the Trump legacy for President Trump himself, if he does not win, historically, he's going to look horrible. I seen somebody in the comments, for instance, not long ago that stated, "I will never wear a red hat again." I've had folks suggest that the MAGA hat will go down in history similar to the Confederate flag, where it is just a symbol of controversy, maybe even considered a symbol of hatred. You guys can let me know in the comments, what do you think of that? Do you think the MAGA hat will go down in history as a symbol of hate, similar to the Confederate flag, where only a few people are defending the right to wear it? Let me know in the comments. As always, it is indeed a lunch break live. You know what we do around this time. 109,000 likes. Damn. Appreciate the participation. Guys could be anywhere, but you're rolling with your boy. So it's always an honor to have you folks in here. As I say always, I don't block, ban, or censor any damn body. You don't have to agree with the host here. It's not my place to tell you what you should think. You as an educated voter, whatever education you have, that's your right to have that opinion, and I will always observe and protect it in my tiny ass corner of social media. What do I say? The whole purpose of this is to show that if we can have civilized dialogue from both sides of the aisle in this tiny ass corner of social media, they could be doing the same damn thing in Washington. They're just not even trying to do this shit. We make it work here every damn day to some degree. No moderators. Nobody's being blocked. Nobody's being censored. No damn moderator. We make this work. You telling me they can't do this on a larger scale? It's your boy Tim, the hand snapper. Appreciate the participation. I got to go. Catch you later.